Chapter 5 The Classified Recruitment Begins Part 1. It had been 15 days since William and Sansa had assumed their positions as the chief operating officers at the office of EMIB. They were the first to report. Among the other 10 appointees, 3 had reported a week ago, and the remaining 7 were yet to arrive. The 3 scientists, Dr. James, Boris and Becker, were already studying the realm following the standard procedure. 2 days prior, 2 other scientists, who had been working on the realm for a year, handed over the charge to senior scientist Dr. James. They were then instructed to leave the office permanently. John and Matthew, hired on a 1-year contract basis, were aware of the realm's existence as they were the ones who had initially started assembling it. However, they had no clearance or knowledge of the covered project EMIB. Their task was simply to build the complex machine according to the manual. Despite understanding the importance of the project, they knew their work was officially completed after a year of assembling and reassembling. Bound by their NDA, they were prohibited from disclosing or attempting to recreate the machine in the future. Satisfied with their compensation, they bid farewell to the 3 scientists, William and Sansa, before leaving for good. William and Sansa had been in communication with 2 spiritual masters from India since their first day, that is 15 days ago. Following numerous discussions, they had devised a plan to identify and locate 100 young people aged between 14 and 16 worldwide. At the suggestion of Ramakrishna Ji, William and Sansa had created a Google form containing 10 special questions developed by the 2 spiritual masters. The answers to these questions would assist in identifying and locating young recruits with unique abilities. A week ago, the White House announced through TV and newspaper that they were looking for 8 young apprentices with unique abilities. All applicants were required to answer 10 questions on a form available on the official White House recruitment page. The deadline for submitting the application was set for 2 days. To their surprise, they received an overwhelming response of 10,000 applications, making it a daunting task to review them all. It was a hectic week for both Sansa and William. After working tirelessly to read through the answers, they rejected 9,900 applications that were submitted before the deadline and shortlisted 100 from the rest. Surprisingly, they had received another 4,000 applications that were submitted after the deadline. For the time being, they decided to ignore the late applications. Their goal was to select the top 8 applicants from the 100 shortlisted forms and finalize the recruits. The Google form read as following. The White House is inviting 8 adolescents for a classified project. The White House, also known as the Oval Office, located at Washington, D.C., USA, is inviting the young applicants from adolescents in the age range from 14 to 16 years for a confidential project. The place of work is the Oval Office, Washington, D.C. The young applicants can be from any gender, from any country, from any ethnicity, any religion, and from any educational background. Young applicants who are spiritual, passionate, brave, strong, compassionate, empathetic, adventurous, virtuous, and quick learner are requested to answer the simple questions below to fill in the application form. The applicants are considered purely on the basis of above-mentioned characteristics. The decision to accept or reject is based on the discretion of 2 Indian spiritual masters and Chief Operating Officers Mr. William Matt and Miss Sansa Marigold. The roles and responsibilities of the job will be disclosed after the selection process. If selected, the young applicants have to present a signed acceptance letter from their respective parents or guardians. The selected applicants will have the opportunity to continue their education while on job. The White House will take care of all visa and travel-related expenses, along with accommodation, health, education, food and clothing of the selected applicants. Presently in his cabin, William sat reviewing the list that had been on his desk since morning. Sansa entered carrying her laptop and sat next to him. After a few keystrokes, she said, "William, the two spiritual masters are online." "Okay, time to speak to the spiritual masters," William responded quickly as he moved his chair closer to Sansa. He caught a whiff of her strong perfume, which he surprisingly found quite appealing, even though he wasn't a fan of perfumes. Trying not to be distracted, William greeted the spiritual masters on the laptop screen. "Good morning, respected Ramkrishna ji and Matha ji." Sansa whispered that it was evening for them, prompting William to quickly correct himself. "I mean good evening. How have you both been?" He had learned a few things from Sansa since they started working together, including addressing spiritual masters with G at the end of their names as a sign of respect. "I am doing well, William. I hope the same is true for both of you. Any updates on the received forms?" Ramakrishna asked, surprising William with his knowledge of modern recruitment methods. "We have good news on that. We were able to go through all 10,000 applications with the help of the 3 scientists. We have narrowed down the applications to 100, William said, feeling relieved at the number. "That is indeed good news. I appreciate all the efforts you and your team have put in over the past week. It must have been hard work," Mata Radhadevi said, smiling tenderly at the 2 young faces. "Yes, Mataji, it was. The good thing is that it is over now. As per our plan, we will select the best 8 from these 100 young applicants once you two reach and report to the office," Sansa replied courteously. "If I may ask, can we expect you at the office the day after tomorrow?" William asked practically, knowing their presence was crucial for the recruitment process. He also knew that Sansa had arranged for their air tickets on an international flight landing tomorrow. "I and Mathaji are set to depart tonight. I will be leaving in another hour with my wife, and Mathaji will join us in Delhi as our flight has a layover there," Ramakrishna answered, providing the information while Mathaji nodded on the screen. "That's settled then, we will see you soon," Sansa smiled at the 2 spiritual masters. "And we wish you a happy and safe journey," William added. Sansa noted his use of "we" and felt happy. They signed off the online meeting and stretched their backs in their chairs. "Sansa, I was thinking about relaxing a bit tomorrow after work. Could you possibly join me for dinner, and perhaps a drink?" William offered, hesitantly. Sansa thought for a moment, and then smiled broadly, showing her white teeth. "Sure, I will join you.